Now getting a look at our Dennis Dodd's college football power rankings. Not much movement in the top 5 there. We have 1 Georgia, 2 Ohio State, 3 TCU, 4 Michigan, and then rounding it out the top 5, 9 and 1 Tennessee. Some movement on the bottom half of the top 10. Up 1 spot, number 7 USC up 2 spots, number 8 Alabama. The most movement in the top 10 with Clemson at number 9. They're up 4 spots, and then Utah up 1 spot at number 10. And let's welcome in the guy himself, our senior college football writer, Dennis Dodd, to break everything down as the national championship picture gets a little bit more clear as we head on week by week. So, Dennis, starting off, UGA still number 1 in your power rankings, LSU still number 6. Now, before December 3rd in Atlanta, what do UGA and LSU need to do while they wait for the SEC championship game to put them both in the best position, starting with UGA?
Yeah, well, UGA, I think, could really afford to lose a game and still stay in the top 4, whether that's in the regular season or in the championship game itself. That's how far they are entrenched, Jacqueline, at number 1. For LSU, it's pretty clear. They have to win out. There's only been 1 2-loss champion in the history of the CFP and the BCS. In fact, there's only been 2 2-loss champions in the history of college football. 1960 Minnesota and 2007 LSU. So if there's some mojo there, it's for the Tigers, but they have to win out with 2 losses. They are the best looking 2-loss team in the country, which is, I guess that counts for something right now. But I think this is going to be a heck of a game. I mean, I think I just saw Stetson Bennett fake out a Mississippi State defensive back on Saturday night. I'm not sure, but I think I just saw that. So unless he's gotten quicker or more shifty, then they've got a chance. Obviously, LSU, desperation time for them. And I think the way they're playing right now, and the quarterback play they're getting from Jaden Daniels and on defense from Ali Gay, I think they've got a chance. Now, this is going to be, Jacqueline, a de facto home. Let's not even call it a de facto home game. It's going to be a home game for Georgia, so there's that too.
All right, and sticking in the SEC, number 5 on your list, Tennessee, putting up the most yards ever, Dennis, against Missouri, winning 66-24. Also, they have 137 yards and 2 touchdowns after taking Hendon Hooker out. For you, how crucial was it to see a blowout like that for Tennessee after losing to Georgia?
Yeah, I mean, is part of that style points? Is part of that Missouri just, shrugging its shoulders and going, we're beaten again? I don't know if there's anything Tennessee has to do style point-wise. They can't struggle with Missouri, obviously. They can't struggle with South Carolina. They can't struggle with all of a sudden formidable Vanderbilt in the season finale. But it looked like Missouri let them have those 66. Missouri had cut it to 28-24. And then 38 straight by Tennessee. And as you mentioned, after Hendon Hooker went out with 3 touchdowns, passing, 1 rushing, Tennessee had 137 yards in the 4th quarter and a couple more touchdowns. So if the statement was made, that was the way to make it. Coming off the Georgia game where they were held to a season low in yards, and then Hooker held to 195 yards passing, they go, as you said, for 724 yards. I think that's as good a statement as it gets to the committee right now.
And Dennis, moving on to number 2 and number 4 on your list. Number 2, Ohio State. Number 4, Michigan. They got one last tune-up before their showdown in the Big Ten championship game. I mean, Dennis, to say the least, they both have a lot on the line in regards to the CFP.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they've got to get there this week through very winnable games for both teams, obviously, and then get to Ohio State. You know what, Jacqueline, I'm thinking this game is closer and closer to Michigan winning this, because I know we're going to talk about Heisman candidates, and we'll get there, but it's pretty easy to see what this team is. It's very physical with Blake Corum, number 3 rusher in the country. J.J. McCarthy, the quarterback, is just doing enough, not asked to do too much as a sophomore, and the defense has been better than advertised. Ohio State, look, they've still only played a couple teams, and they handled Penn State pretty well. They scored the last, 28, 21 points in that game to win. But other than that, it's just been a whitewash. And again, against Indiana on Saturday, boy, oh boy, you got C.J. Stroud, 9th time in his career with 5 touchdown passes. I don't think that's what it's going to be against Michigan. I don't think it's going to be a shoot-up. I think Michigan, with its physicality, has a heck of a shot to go into the shoe and win.
And Dennis, one of the, I guess, more unexpected teams, TCU, they're staying number 3 on your list despite their 5th ranked win. No movement there for them. What's kind of crazy, 2 weeks ago, I didn't realize, but they weren't even in the top 4 of the CFP rankings. That was November 1st. They were ranked 7th. So what more do you think TCU needs to do, I guess, to solidify to be a shoo-in for the CFP?
Yeah, they've just about clinched a spot in the top 2 for the Big 12. They've got Baylor this week in a rivalry game, and it looks like that should be easy, but it's at Baylor. They've just got to get to that championship game and win it, whether it's with one loss, and I do think with one loss they'll still be in the running, but obviously with no losses, no Power 5 undefeated conference champion has ever been left out. And Jacqueline, you made a good point. 2 weeks ago, the committee didn't even consider TCU for the top 4. I don't know what they have to do. They have now played 5 ranked teams, obviously beaten them all. Texas on Saturday night, where they walked into the belly of the beast. Texas was playing pretty well. They allowed Texas a field goal offensively. The other touchdown was a pick 6. So this team is not only great offensively, but now playing defensively well against Joseph Gillespie, their defensive coordinator. I think this is clicking on all cylinders. I like TCU to make the Final 4, and I think they'll just breeze through the rest of the schedule to get there.
Yeah, the Frogs 10-0 for the first time since 2010. That is our senior college football writer, Dennis Dodd, recapping his college football power rankings. Thank you so much, Dennis. And getting a look at the rest of the rankings, 11 through 20. We got Oregon at 11 after blowing a 7-point lead at home with less than 4 minutes to play against Washington, ultimately losing that one 37-34. Then we have UCLA at number 12. UCF moving up 4 spots to number 13 after their big win over Tulane. Now they are in first place in the American. And the bottom half of the list there, also in the American Conference, number 21, we have Cincinnati with UCF having a win over them. 22, Florida State with their big win over Syracuse. And then rounding out the top 5, we have Liberty down 7 spots.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.